Hello. In 2004, a scammer thought he was about to score a brand new Apple Powerbook worth over $2,000. Instead, what he got was a bunch of internet weirdos embarking on a community project to create one of the most infamous counter scams of the early 2000s. It's April 2004. Google had just launched Gmail, promising 1 GB of storage when most people were still deleting emails to free up space. Barry Bonds had just hit his 661st career home run, passing his godfather Willie Mays on the all-time list. And, on a corner of the internet known as the Something Awful Forums, a new thread is made by forums user My Name is Jeff. This guy is trying to rip me off on eBay. How should I respond to his email? Jeff was selling a G4 Powerbook for his friend Corey, who had realized that aside from looking sleek, it wasn't actually needed, and Jeff offered to help sell it. For the sake of convenience, he listed the machine as if it were his own. The auction started at $1,700, with a buy now price of $2,100. It's a pretty basic eBay listing. I assume you've seen one of those before. You are bidding on my 19-day-old G4 Powerbook. This was purchased for a project that fell through, blah blah. When I tried to return it, blah blah. 10-day limit for returns. Your new laptop comes with blah blah. Screen size, HD space, free shipping, blah blah, yada yada. Remember, it's 2004. We hadn't invented computers covered in RGB. But for the time, it was a reasonably good laptop. So it didn't take long for someone to want to buy it. Hello, I am very interested in your unit. I'd like to know your best price to buy it now, and if you ship international. I am in London, UK right now. I would also want to know the condition of the unit. Please let me know. I am very interested. Thank you in advance. Thank you, M. Salomon. Everything M. Salomon had asked was already spelled out in the auction description, but Jeff replied anyway, confirming that yes, he could ship to London so long as the buyer covered the cost. The following day, another email arrived. M. Salomon wanted that Powerbook and wanted it fast. I am very interested for this item. I'm ready to pay you the best price, $2,100 plus overnight or 2 days shipping charges, UPS, DHL, FedEx or Parcel Force, if we will use an escrow service to handle this transaction. The escrow service will release you the money as soon as I will let them know that the item passed the inspection and is 100% okay. The escrow fee is on my charge, don't worry. Please let me know if my offer is good enough for you. If it does, I will initiate the transaction with the escrow service as soon as I will have your confirmation. If it is okay, please register in order to make the deal and start the payment procedures. Hope that everything will be okay and close the deal in the best conditions. Kind regards. Even in the early 2000s, eBay was a breeding ground for scams. It was very difficult to send money across the internet. PayPal was around, but not that useful for something like eBay. The fees were ginormous for the time. This is where escrow services come in. In theory, these escrow services are designed to protect both sides of a deal. Instead of sending money or goods directly to a stranger, each party ships their end of the bargain to a trusted middleman. Once both arrive, the escrow releases them, making sure that no one gets burned. There were plenty of industry-standard escrow services, trusted and highly trafficked. Of course, scammers twisted that system into a pretty simple con. They would set up fake escrow websites, sometimes copying the look of real companies, and convince sellers to ship their items there. Of course, the escrow was just the scammer themselves. Once the goods were in hand, the site would vanish overnight, leaving the victim empty-handed. In the early 2000s, these bogus escrow schemes exploded on eBay, targeting high-value auctions like jewelry, cameras, and laptops. Laptops like Jeff's Powerbook. A general rule of thumb: anyone suggesting their own non-standard escrow service is probably ripping you off. The broken English, clumsy grammar, and suspicious escrow links were all red flags. And to Jeff, it was obvious that this was a scam. But instead of walking away, he saw an opportunity. What if we could get one over on the guy? On April 24th, he took the idea to the Something Awful forums, posting his thread and asking goons how best to respond. Sorry, 1 second. Goons are members of Something Awful. Not that kind of goon. Or that kind of goon. The internet back in 2004 was a different place. It was smaller. A little more technical. This all happened before iPhones, the internet in your pocket and all that. You had to go on the computer. Goons very quickly noticed that the supposed VeriSign security link on the scammer's website wasn't real at all. It was just a JavaScript pop-up designed to mimic a legitimate page. A quick Whois search of the domain raised even more red flags. The site claimed to be an independent escrow company based in London, but the registration data pointed somewhere very different. More specifically, it pointed towards Indiana, and a name that matched a professor at Indiana State University. And also, if it is supposedly a London-based company, why does it only have American states and Canadian provinces for you to put into your address and sign up? Basically, all these red flags confirmed what the forum already suspected. The whole operation was a scam. Some goons are more trusting. I think you guys are too skeptical. With a mission statement like this, our mission statement is to bring a sound transaction of a seller and a buyer to a quick conclusion, I think you can probably trust them. What actually impresses me is that all this information, the mismatched Whois, the fake VeriSign details, the physical address of the person registering the site, were all found in less than an hour. As someone with a history of disliking fraudsters, I'm impressed. And some goons are torn. Do we contact the head of faculty at Indiana State? Could we just send all this collected info back to the guy, call him out, and move on? Or, as forums user Goon Matchmaker puts it, I think you need to have more fun with this guy before giving him a textual kick to the balls. And Jeff agrees. I'm writing another one to string him along. Post any ideas. I think I'll play along with the newbie eBayer who hardly knows how the internet works thing. Email sent. Well, that sounds okay to me. I was able to log into your internet website, which I must say looks very nice to me. I just have a few questions. What should I use for a username and password? I like to use the same thing for everything. eBay, PayPal, email, is that okay? In your FAQ, I noticed that you can use the set limited net services and it does not have to be an online purchase. But if it's not online, how do they get to your website? Thank you, Jeff. There's a bit of back and forth, and Jeff does have some important questions for the guy. Before we continue, I wanted to ask, do you know if the site had a strong digital defense? I read that escrow services who don't utilize a strong digital defense can often be attacked, and the buyer and seller can lose money or their item. I don't want this to happen, and I'm sure you don't either. I don't mean to ask too many questions. As you can see, I'm new to eBay. By doing it this way, will I get to skip the extra eBay fees? That would be really great. I don't want to pay them extra money. What's the next step? I've never really used escrow. The bait works. We get the next part of a puzzle. An address. Gianluca Sassarago, 9B Varley Parade, Colindale, London. Googling that address gets at least 2 pseudonyms using that location to perpetuate fraud. It also reveals that the address is actually a barbershop called Gene Climax. Or it was, it's a Betfred now. Either way, A, fascinating name, and B, the plot thickens. Goons start firing off ideas. Going back to Gianluca's email, let's call him Gianluca going forward. I received the confirmation from escrow services about the money is received. Please send it as we agreed, FedEx, UPS, or DHL TNT Express, and please put a small value on the package so I'll pay less taxes. Here, the duty taxes are 27.5% from the total amount, so please do your best and send it as a family gift with a low value. That gives us an option. What if, like forums user Lushka says, put like $8,000 on the package and make the fucker pay $2,200 for it? Another option is go pick up a FedEx form with a pre-printed tracking number on it and give him that number. It's valid, but it'll just say there's no package in the system. Wait a while for him to bitch about the number not being in the system, then make up some story about the package being sent back to you. This buys you some time to fill jars with urine and occult voodoo objects to send to him, or paint an Etch-a-Sketch silver and put an Apple sticker on it. A lot of options, really. Do we print out every single page of this thread and include it in the package? Do we send a crappy $10 laptop after you've beat the shit out of it and painted it white in a very crude attempt to make it look like an apple? Some goon power could be used to sign him up for every bit of real mail spam possible. The possibilities are endless. Luckily, on April 27, 2004, Eric Fate submitted the following suggestion. Send a 3-ring binder with a hand-drawn keyboard taped to the inside of the bottom flap and a hand-drawn screen taped to the inside of the top flap. Crayon preferred. It's the perfect idea. We just need more bait to keep him on the hook. Jeff is more than happy to keep him wriggling. Okay guys, here's my email to him. Hello. Well, it looks like I'm ready to ship. I got my email from the escrow site too. I'll have your email with your address, so I'll be sending your laptop today or the next day. I told my friend about you, and she said she'd like to sell you more if you're interested. Would you like to buy some more of the ultra-powerful G4 Powerbooks? She has them at her work to sell because people only know how to use them for AOL Instant Messenger. Thanks again for all your help with the sale. I only wish I could leave you feedback on eBay because I wanted to leave Excellent Seller A+. That should buy us some time, because we have the plan. 1. I don't really have any laptop to smash up, so I'll construct one. Crayons, 3-ring binder, glitter, failed CD burns which I'll label as various programs. I'll glue keys from a broken keyboard, or should I just draw them? 2. A printout of this thread will be included, sans anything linking to SA. 3. Gross pictures. 4. The package will be valued at $2,100 and will weigh the same as a real G4. And 5. Pencil shavings. I'll construct all of this as fast as I can if I can get it all done today, and yes, I'll post pictures. I think you know where this is going. Let's take a look at what the Powerbook looks like, shall we? It's a 3-ring binder, lovingly turned into a facsimile of a G4 Powerbook. It even has firewire. And a wireless mouse. It's perfect. The only problem is, despite it being visual perfection, is it's not quite heavy enough. After debating if sand, labeled silicon chips to be, or even water would work, Jeff ends up using some spare computer parts and a book to meet the weight and potentially help it get past customs. Okay, I just got back from the Pac-Man. For those of you interested, it's going to be an 18 by 18 by 5 inch flat panel box wrapped in brown paper. This trip to London will be accompanied by a broken CD-ROM drive and an informative XL97 book, and yes, I taped the fuck out of it. I am going to venture a wild guess, a shot in the dark, that most of you aren't interested in the intricacies of international shipping. The package makes it to England, though it is held up in customs, causing more than a few heart attacks in the thread. But while we're waiting, aren't there any London goons who are willing to go eyeball the place? Meet Pipsky. Pipsky lives in London, and while they had only just registered on the forums, they wanted to help. If no one else can get it done sooner, I can probably make time tomorrow night. Means a hefty commute, but hell, it's a weeknight. I may as well be riding the tube and trying to recce buildings full of combinat and yardies as anything else, right? They buy a cheap 0.3 megapixel digital camera and set out. I'm totally there. Seriously, details later. Post from within. It turns out that Gene Climax, the store our package is being sent to, is not just a barbershop. It's also an internet cafe. 2 barber chairs and 4 or 5 very cramped terminals. A barbernet cafe, if you will. And what better way to get some intelligence than get a haircut at said barbernet cafe? The owner, or at least the guy in charge while I was there, is a black guy in his mid-20s. Credit where it's due, the haircut he gave me was of a pretty good standard. Not the sharpest knife in the box, and he has some odd ideas relating to the police. I am a notoriously bad judge of character, but I have my doubts that this is our man. He doesn't strike me as a scammer. For all his other faults, that isn't to say that I couldn't well imagine him taking a cut. But I don't think he's the real culprit. So if it's not our guy, then that raises an unsettling possibility. Jean-Luca might not have had any connection to the building at all. Instead, it could have been just a convenient intercept point somewhere he could slip in, claim a package, and disappear without leaving a trail. Jeff and friends were planning for just this contingency, as evidenced by AIM logs he posted. And sorry for those of you who don't know what AIM is, it was an instant messaging program from the old days. Remember, you had to physically go on the computer. Maybe I could nick it back and frame it. Nick it back. 1. Take a pic of his face as he opens it. 2. Punch face. 3. Steal laptop back. Our package is in London, but it's delayed, and Jeff is getting impatient and nervous that the scammer is going to think something's afoot. After all, only FedEx can give you updates that aren't really updates. Do they not fucking sleep in London? Maybe they can get the shit delivered if they try during business hours. He eventually gets an update. FedEx is having trouble delivering, so he tried a shot in the dark with another email to the scammer. Hello. I received a call from FedEx saying they were unable to get a hold of you to deliver the package. I really need payment for my laptop, so the sooner you get it and approve of it, the sooner the escrow can release my money to me. They said that they'll have to charge me to hold it if they can't deliver it. If that's the case, I'll just pay to have it sent back. Do you have another phone number? I was going to try and look you up at the address maybe, but I don't think that'll work. So I thought I'd ask you first. Please respond as soon as you can. I'm very eager to complete the transaction. Our scammer, still eager for a free laptop, responds quickly. Hello, I called to FedEx, and he'll tell me tomorrow or for Friday. We'll send the package to my address. The money is ready in my hand to pay the taxes. What insurance did you put for this? I'll email you when I will pick up the laptop. Thank you, and sorry for the inconvenience. Jean-Luc. And eventually, after days of delays, May 10th, 2004. Package status. In transit in destination country. May 11th, 2004. Arrived at FedEx destination location. I'm actually really nervous. May 11th, 2004, 7:09 a.m. On FedEx vehicle for delivery. May 11th, 2004, 10:01 a.m. Delivered. And luckily, we have a second spy. Forums user Rig has been there all day, waiting. Here's his version of events. I've got myself a spot by the front window of the cyber cafe next door. Been here since 7:45 and nothing yet. The shop only opened the shutters at 8:45, so it's unlikely it's not delivered yet. I would expect it will be around 10:30 to 11:30 as delivery was just after 11 last time. Okay, the delivery has been made. There were a lot of cars in the way, and I think I have some alright footage. There were quite a few parcels. I'm gonna sort and upload, and you should have an update within 5 minutes. Okay, I got up there. I heard the barber on the phone, then a guy with an Eastern European accent started talking. The guy very likely went in the back way. The barber was explaining there's a fee for one of his parcel force packages. I think it was storage fees, as it was a few days late or something. Either that or duty. The guy thought he was talking about the FedEx parcel and started arguing that he'd paid duty. It took a minute or two for the barber to explain. He paid the fee, and there was a lot of rustling. He opened one of the boxes. There were some more angry raised voices, and the barber said something like, "Is it broken?" The guy said something like, "It's wrong, mistake." I don't think he really understood the joke right away. There were more raised voices, but not real arguing. The guy didn't suspect the barber of anything, and didn't, as far as I know, explain what happened to him. Probably to keep his post office box so the barber's not in on it. The only pictures I got inside the shop were of a Gene Climax official mug, which I was planning to steal before I left. I went back later for a second attempt to steal it, but the room was full of people. Unable to resist twisting the knife, Jeff sends one final email. Hello, friend. It sure took a long time, but it got there. I was worried for a while. I thought I'd lost my Powerbook for good in some kind of scam. I wish I didn't pay for such fast shipping. Now I see how long FedEx takes. Please let me know when you're done checking everything and making sure it works. I packed it pretty well. I hope shipping didn't bang it up. You'll see I included some extra books. I didn't really need them now that I got rid of the Powerbook. Anyways, I still cannot log into the Escrow site. Will payments still be sent even though they're having connection problems? I realized I never gave my address or any bank account information for payment. If I were to give that to you, would you be able to get it to them so they can send the payment? That would be great. I need this money to pay me my rent. I was curious, did you end up paying for the taxes? I wanted to know because I still want to refund some of the money to you. Thanks, Jeff. Jean-Luc never replied. The true finale of the story, the moment he ripped open the package expecting a free laptop, only to find something entirely different, lives only in our imagination. But it's hard not to picture him smiling, shaking his head and saying, "They got me good." Or not, he's probably pissed as fucking hell. What I can leave you with is one piece of advice. Don't send things to strangers wanting you to use random escrow services. And one other thing. Don't forget, the internet makes you stupid.
Walk into the bank with some shit in your pants. 'Cause you had too many crystals and you somehow tried to dance. Walk up to the teller with an awkward grin on your face. Hand over the shitty check to him and it's time to get paid. But he says he can't cash it 'cause it's covered in shit. There's no way to sign it and it's not even legible.